the best way to frame it is that AI cannot write a good story like Lord of the Rings. It just can't, flat out. But what the AI can do is it can definitely write a better story than Lords of Ring of Power plus Privilege. And this is why most of the writers are absolutely terrified of AI. Because they know they do not have what it takes to write better stories than ChatGPT right now. And we see this in the last TV shows. We have seen this in the last movies. I mean, the Indiana Jones. So they're terrified of it. And because of that, they will attack people that suggest even the idea that they can be replaced by AI. But what I don't understand is that in any other industry, like in any other industry, whether it's masonry, whether it's medicine, if you don't perform, and if you build a bridge in engineering, for example, and the bridge collapses, not only do you not get paid, but there's legal liabilities because of it. Now, obviously, I'm not suggesting that someone should be imprisoned if they write something atrocious, although maybe in the perfect world they should. But like, there is no punishment if you make something bad. Like, in fact, if you watch the entertainment industry and what happened in the last 5 years, if you are placed in charge of a comic book and it ends up getting canceled because it doesn't sell, they fail upwards. They're promoted to another comic book. It's absolutely ridiculous. And I guess like this type of mindset stuck with them. And the moment they notice that the public doesn't care about their issues, they get upset. Because that's the thing. I made the post where I basically said, hey, you know what? I don't care. Like, I genuinely don't care. I didn't wish them ill or anything like that. I'm just like neutral to not caring. Like, there are other things in my life that I think I should care more than writers striking. They attacked me for it. They attacked. Death threats. Death threats, chat. I got death threats. It's interesting, isn't it? Right? Like, they are triggered over the fact that you do not care. It's very fascinating. So, why don't people care? Because I'm not the only one. Right? Like, my post got over 500,000 views because it resonates with people. So the first reason, like, just look at their protest. Marxist symbols everywhere. Like the fist here, this is a Marxist iconography. It's the working class rising up. Yes, the writers now represent and identify with the working class. Communism is a very divisive ideology, to say the least, and it sips into their writing. So if I don't agree with their ideology, because their entertainment is not meant for entertainment, but it's meant to preach, and you can listen to some TED Talks where these writers go and you can see what they post on Twitter. That's literally what they're trying to do. They're trying to push their ideology in their writing. And a person that's not interested in this ideology or doesn't agree with it is not going to find any merit in their writing. So that's like the first problem that I have. The second problem is like, oh my god, but you're a content creator. Why don't you care about people losing their jobs? Dude, they're paid more than me. Like, they are flat out paid way more than I make. Despite the fact that, as I mentioned, when I put out a video, I get more people watching the video than people are watching the latest She-Hulk episode or purchasing the new Captain Marvel comic. This is the reality that I'm in. And I don't see them caring about me. Right? Like, I have never seen a writer go and gets like, oh my god, this poor guy, this poor Romanian, you know, he should be paid more. I have never seen that. In fact, anyone that goes on Twitter knows that these writers have nothing but disdain and disgust for the customers that don't agree with their ideology. They share block lists amongst each other. Block list chat, block lists. Like if you annoy one of them, all of them block you. Like the hive mind. Right? And you're the customer, they want your cash, but they don't want to hear from you. And like, if you really want to upset them, while remaining within the terms of service, what you can tell them on Twitter is that I feel about the writers the exact same way they feel about MAGA supporters. That's it. You know, like you don't have to say anything else. You don't feel any different, like not more or less. Exactly this 100% the same. And that really upsets them for some reason. And I don't know why, because like MAGA supporters are Americans too, right? Like they have money, they can purchase your work. But for some reason, when you say that, it really upsets. I can't fathom as to why, though. I don't really know why. And again, to top it off, just so you can understand how ridiculous this is, they love mocking the working class. There are so many shows and so many movies that I could pick right now. And I would show you how the writing sips in and they have nothing but disdain and disgust towards the working class. But I can just pick one that's more recent so that you guys know what I'm talking about. In Rings of Power Plus Privilege, there is that scene that they're trying to mimic the MAGA guys, where you have the Numenorians that are upset that the elves are taking their jobs. And they're out there protesting, and they want all the elves to get out. And, there's like, they take our jobs, blah, blah, blah. And the writer clearly intends to make them look like the bad guys. Like, they're uneducated, they're bigots, they're horrible people. Because the elves didn't do anything wrong, right? So when you look at the actual reality of that universe, is that elves, they don't sleep, right? So they can work nonstop. And on top of that, they don't age. So they're always in shape. And unless there's a war or something, the elves don't even die. So how can you as a human compete with someone that has been doing blacksmithing for thousands of years, doesn't tire, doesn't sleep? Like, it's impossible. Like, no one is going to hire the human, right? So, like, the humans were definitely in the right to suggest that they cannot compete if they are being forced to work side by side in the same labor market with the elves. So, the writers, they don't see a problem with that, but then they're upset about AI. Because they can't compete with the AI, right? Like, the AI has an entire database of knowledge. It can create stuff that these writers just simply can't. And now they're protesting against AI, while before they were mocking literally the same thing they're doing. And then they're shocked that people don't get it. It's like, well, you wanted your ideology to be forced upon the masses that consume your entertainment, right? Like, you lashed on to Lord of the Rings in order to push this message onto the masses that you shouldn't complain when someone better than you takes your job. And now you're literally complaining that someone better than you is taking your job. And you're wondering, like, why aren't the people connecting with me? I don't know, like, you literally trained them. You literally just did this in your entertainment. You push this message down their throats that it's bad to complain when someone different than you takes your job. And now it's in that situation. Isn't it ironic? And as I said in the beginning, by the way, AI cannot write the new Lord of the Rings, right? It can't. But it can write the new Rings of Power Plus Privilege, and it would actually be better. And one more thing, like, they keep saying, well, yeah, but, like, AI is stealing from us. First of all, it's not stealing shit from you. Like, I'm pretty sure the database of the AI is probably even disconsidering everything you wrote as being garbage. It's probably stealing from better writers, which is what you are doing as well. You are the ones that are latching on to previous IPs that you had absolutely no work to do with. You're the one that latch on to characters that were already created. So don't give me that. Don't even dare go there. Latching on to it. There is nothing of value that these new modern writers are producing. And by the way, the writers that do produce, they make money. Isn't that fascinating? J.K. Rowling manages to write something great, makes money. You have George R.R. Martin, writes good shit, makes money. The writers of Breaking Bad, they're not complaining. They're not saying that they're not being paid well. Manga writers, they're making money. Oh my god, maybe it's actually tied to your actual skill level. Eric July, he didn't have like a team of people pushing his shit. He did it by himself. Right? Like, there are so many independent comic book creators and so many independent writers that make it big. Sure, it's a difficult industry, don't get me wrong. I mean, it's difficult to break into it, but if you're a talented writer, you're going to make money. So, yeah, I mean, if you're writing for the She-Hulk and it ends up being canceled, of course you're not making money. But, like, look at this. Like, this is the perfect example. Look at what they're having on their signposts. Solidarity with the writers. Like, you didn't even bother writing something creative. It's like generic garbage. Everyone looks the same type of shit. And even when you have someone that actually wrote his own signpost, you can get ChatGPT to write something 10 times better. That would get people to empathize more with them. Look at this. Is this even blank? Maybe it's not blank because of the resolution, but like it looks like such a low effort if this is blank. Like, they didn't write anything on this one. No, it's blank, isn't it? Like, I'm zooming in, it's blank. Yeah, I mean, what more can you say? Let me know what you guys think, and as usual, I will see you in the comment section. Take care.